Hello everyone, it's Sylvia here from Casino Library and welcome to Tangles on Tuesday. In this series, we're going to take you through the process of creating beautiful art pieces known as Zentangle. The founders of Zentangle are Maria Roberts, who is an artist, and Rick Roberts, who has studied meditation for many years. When Maria talked about her artwork with Rick, she described it as giving her a sense of timelessness as she became totally immersed in what she was doing. Rick recognised this as a form of meditation, and this laid the foundation for the Zentangle that we know today. So starting our Zentangle, we will need a soft lead pencil, which is great for doing our borders and our strings and comes in handy for doing shading later on. I like to use the Unipin pen, comes in a range of sizes. Today I'm working with a 0.1 for my fine work and a 0.4 for a little heavier work. I also like to have a Sharpie pen, which is great for colouring larger areas within our Zentangles and creating definition. So that's our pencils and pens. Traditional Zentangle is worked on a 3.5 by 3.5 inch piece of paper or cardstock known as a tile. But as we progress, you'll find that you can use any shape or size of paper cardstock that you feel comfortable with. The idea is just to find a pen and a paper that works well for you. To begin our Zentangle, we're going to take a tile, 3.5 by 3.5 inch square, and we're going to take our soft lead pencil, and in each corner, just inside the edge, we're going to make a dot. Just lightly. So what that does is that gives us a guide now to create our border. And we do that by joining the 4 dots together. We don't need rulers, we don't use erasers, they don't exist when it comes to Zentangle. So you're just going to draw a light line with your pencil, joining your dots, some waves, some movement in them. You don't want it to be accurate, you're not looking for anything precise. And there we have it. That's my border. So we've begun our Zentangle. From here, we'd break this space up using what's known as a string. And a string is created by drawing a line, be it straight, curved, loopy, with our pencil. And when we begin to work our Zentangles with our pens, those pencil lines will disappear. So we're going to do one today that just goes from corner to corner. And again, give it some movement, bit of a wave in your line, and just break that space up like I've done there. Now remember, your string is only a guideline. So once we start our Zentangle, feel free to take your pattern over a line or add an extra line in. So the first tangle I'm going to show you is called Holy Bar, and it's one of the most versatile tangles that we can learn. So it's a matter of drawing either a straight or a curved line across your tile. And then you're going to mimic that line with the second one. And it doesn't matter if it's not the same width from beginning to end. It's not about accuracy, it's not about precision, it doesn't have to be. It's just about enjoying the process. Because those lines don't ever cross over each other, it looks like they're actually weaving. So we'll do another line to show you. This time I'm just going to go across my tile, just concentrating on the line as I draw it. And again, I'm going to mimic it with a second one. So it's like drawing a bar. And there we have the second part of our holy bar. So we'll keep going until we filled up the space as much or as little as we would like. Remembering, keep breathing. Sometimes I have to tell myself to stop and to breathe because I find I'm concentrating. It really is a mindful pastime. The other thing you'll find is that I'm always turning my tile because I want my hand to be comfortable. I want to be in a position where I'm feeling comfortable with what I'm drawing. So you'll be constantly moving your tile as you're working your tangle. So I'm going to keep going and fill in that tile with a few more. They go in all directions. They can, as I said, they can curve, but at no point do they cross each other. So as you come to the next holly bar, you will stop and you'll commence drawing your line on the other side. So you can see here I've drawn up to where I've met this holly bar. I've stopped and I've commenced on the other side of it. I've stopped here and commenced on the other side. So it almost looks like it's weaving underneath. And again, I'm going to turn my tile so that my hand's comfortable and I can draw in the other part of that line there. So there we have it. You can see that it almost looks like an American freeway, all those highways intersecting and overpassing. So let's keep going. Let's add in a couple more. And I do find that when I'm doing Zentangle that I become totally unaware of time. And my mind does switch off, it does relax. It's one of the few things that I can do where I do actually find my mind switching off. So we've added in a few more here. So that gives you an idea of the holly bar. The next tangle that I'd like to show you is called Crescent Moon, and this is one of the other Zentangles that I first learned. Again, it's adaptable. What you do is draw crescents or half moons, spacing them out evenly, going around the edge of our tile, like so. Each one does not need to be identical to the last one you drew, and remembering to keep moving your tile so that you've got your hand in a position that's comfortable for you. So you can see here as I've come to the corner, I've actually drawn a crescent going across the corner. As I said, there's no rules, there's no right or wrong when it comes to our Zentangle. Just keep working your way around until you come back to that first crescent that you drew. So one more. All right, so that's the beginning of Crescent Moon. So now we're going to add to that by drawing in what's called an aura. So that's going to be another line that follows around that first crescent, like we have here. So in Zentangle terms, that's called an aura, and we're going to go around now and do that for each crescent that we did initially. And you'll find too that you will learn to draw your tangles using your pen going backwards, going forwards, any way that is comfortable for you. So we're just going to keep going around now with that second row. So we continue with our auras. We can work right into the center of the tile, or we can choose to leave some of the center blank. Again, that's a matter of personal choice, and that's part of the flexibility of the Zentangle that we're doing. So with our next lot of auras, especially here, you'll see as we're going around now, the gaps closing between each of our crescents. So what that means here, that as I come around with my next aura, if I can imagine the aura from this other one next to it coming around, they're going to merge like that. So we'll just keep going around now and doing your third round of auras. Just take your time, just relax. Now with Zentangle, we don't know what our finished tile is going to look like. That's the beauty of the Zentangle. It's not about the finished product, it's actually just about the process. So as I've come along here, I've got my two auras meeting. They're meeting here, but as I come around this next one, I have plenty of room for that one to finish and a new one to begin around this area here. So we'll keep doing So we'll keep on with that till we've got our third sequence done. So what we have now is our aura has actually become such that it's just going to continue looping around without a beginning and an end. So it's kind of going to spiral and work in towards the middle. Now we can keep going with that if we wish, or we can leave it like it is. That's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to leave that now. That's something that you can continue on with. The only other thing that I'll show you with that particular tangle today is I'm going to take my 0.4 pen. I'm actually going to shade each crescent that we did initially. So what we're going to do, and this just adds some depth and some dimension to the tangle. So each one, we're just going to shade it with a black pen. You can use a Sharpie, you can use whatever you're comfortable with. It's a fairly small space, but again, it's easier to colour with my larger tip pen than the finer one. So that's our holly bar, and this is our crescent moon. So have a play with those. So that's what I like to use my practice sheet for, is just getting used to doing some of the tangles. But again, not stressing about it being perfect. Whatever you create will be beautiful.
I've completed a tile for you using both the holly bar and crescent moon tangles that we've learnt today. You'll see that where those two tangles meet is where I drew in my string. You'll also notice that all the pencil lines have disappeared as I've worked my tangles. I've shaded some of the background area of the holly bar to show you one of the many ways you can take your tangles to the next level. You'll also notice that no matter which way you turn your tile, there is no right or wrong way to present it. It's simply a matter of what's pleasing to the eye. In the comments below, you'll find a link to the practice sheet that I've been using here today. If you're unable to access these from your computer at home, we'll make some packs available. All you have to do is give us a call on 666 00 250 and give us a day or two to get those ready for you. That pack will also include some pre-cut 3.5 by 3.5 inch tiles to get you started. If you'd like to do some more reading on Zentangle, there is a great selection of books available at the library, and we also have a Hobbies and Crafts Reference Centre, which is a part of our e-resources that are available on our library website. And remember, if you'd like to receive instant updates when new content is added to our YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button. Thanks for joining us here today, and we'll see you next week for another Tangles on Tuesday.